Hi everyone, this is Cheryl and welcome to my sewing room. I'm going to show you a really easy method for making your own machine applique flower. Now this is the template that I'm using. They're made by June Taylor, but if you don't have access to these templates, you can get them at craft and fabric stores. I got mine at Joann Fabric and Crafts, or you can get it at joann.com. Now let me show you how to make your own template if you don't have access to these templates I just showed you. You're going to draw a circle. Remember, the larger the circle, the larger the flower. This circle is about 4 inches in diameter. Cut the circle out of your paper, then fold it in half 3 times and it will look like this. Then you're going to round the corners up here so it kind of looks like an ice cream cone. And when you unfold it, it looks like this. So let me show you. Here was my circle. So fold it in half once, then twice, and then 3 times, and cut it around. And then of course, when you unfold it, you have a flower. Now, the next step you would want to do is take your paper template here and draw it onto thin cardstock, because if you're going to use this flower over and over again, it's much easier to trace around cardstock than paper. So here is my flower template. So you can store them away when you're done and use them again and again and again. Now the product that I'm using to make it adhere to any project you're making, whether it's a tote bag, a pillow, clothing, I'm using Pellon Light Easy Steam, lightweight, 2-sided, pressure sensitive fusible web. On the back are the instructions on how to use it. You can get this on the internet. Go to joann.com or Joann Fabric and Crafts. After you've opened up your package, you're going to see there's sheets in there that are 9 by 12 that have these little blue grid lines on it. You're going to take your template and trace around it onto the blue grid line side, not the one on the back. And you will wind up with this. Now you're going to cut it out of your sheet. Make sure you leave a little bit of this paper extending around all of the edges. Now to complete the flower, you also need to draw a small circle that goes in the center. Okay, and you're going to draw that on the blue grid line side. Now, as far as putting it on your fabric, here is the fabric that I'm using for my flower. This is the front side. Turn it over onto the back. And this is the side that you're going to put your fusible web on. So on the back, you're going to pull off this plain paper here and then place it right on the back and finger press it all over. Do the same thing for this. Then take a small pair of scissors and cut around all of the drawn lines. Now take your project, whatever it is that you're making, and place your applique piece down where you want it. Now don't finger press anything down just yet. Just kind of tap it in place. And to get the glue to appear, you need to pull the paper off on the back. And if you're having a hard time getting the paper off, take a straight pin and just score it to tear the paper. Then remove it off, making sure you don't lift the glue that's on there. Then just set it down where you think you want it, and before you pat it down, make sure it is centered, and then finger press it down and finger press all over. Now you're ready to steam it on or to fuse it on permanently. So read the instructions on your package, especially if you bought a different brand than I did. And you're going to need a hot iron set to cotton with steam. Place a damp cloth over it, and I usually just keep a little spray bottle of water near my machine all the time, and I just spray it down lightly to get it damp. Then set your iron down on top. Now my iron is not hot. but make sure you do this at your ironing board. Now give it a good burst of steam and hold it in place for 10 to 15 seconds. If you find that it didn't stick in some places, then just reapply. Get your cloth a little damp again and hold it down a little bit longer. Now you're ready to do your decorative stitching around the edges. Now if you do not have decorative stitches on your sewing machine, then you can do a small zigzag stitch. And you want to do this so that it doesn't fall apart during washing along the edges. I recommend you use an open toe presser foot so you can see exactly where you are stitching. One quick little thing I forgot to mention earlier, before you begin to do your decorative stitching, make sure you use either stabilizer, applique stabilizer fabric, or you can use this really thin paper. It comes in a roll like this that I got at Home Depot in the paint department. It's used by painters to mask off areas. And when you're done doing your stitching, you just tear it off the back and you're good to go. Here's my flower. It's all done. Now, I recommend that you practice on scrap fabric when you're working around curves because it can be a little tricky. Also, another reason to practice on scrap fabric is to test out some of your decorative stitches, especially if machine applique is new to you. Now, if you liked this video, click on thumbs up. Also, click on share to share this video with your friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, then click on that red button down there in the lower right-hand corner of your screen. Don't forget to enter your email address. Click on the little bell so you receive future email notifications about my latest video. I'll see you next time. Bye for now and happy sewing!